Hello and a very good welcome to Devon Live Chat, and Music Monday is what this is all about, because we like talking to people in the music industry of various different things that they're up to, and we welcome Ian to the show. So hello Ian.
Hello mate, how are you?
I'm fine. I see that you've been quite busy doing various different pieces of music with collaborating with other people.
Yeah.
Tell us, how did that all start?
Hang on, let me take this off. Well, to be honest, I mean, the collaborating stuff has started since the first lockdown, when everything was just dead quiet, and I was out taking the dogs for a walk down my local river, down near the Puffin Billy, and there's an archway down there under the main road bridge from Torrington to Bideford, and if you go under there and you sort of go woo, you get this beautiful echo, really good acoustics under there. So I just thought, and I probably wouldn't have done it, because with lockdown, but I went under there with a harmonica and just started singing a couple of songs. I thought, oh, this is quite nice actually. So and I think it kind of went from there really. Just did a couple of songs and put them on Facebook, which is again another thing I probably wouldn't have done before. Without the lockdown, really, something I wouldn't have thought about.
So are you a Torrington guy, or?
I am a Torrington boy, yes, I am. Yeah, I moved here when I was about a year old, I think. And just Torrington through and through, really. Love it, love the town, love the people. And yeah, just part of the town and everything that goes with it. Fantastic.
Brilliant. So venue-wise, being a Torrington lad,
yeah.
Which venues have you played at in your own town? Because the Globe would have been the most obvious, but it doesn't really do anything at the moment, does it?
Oh, the Globe. I mean, to be honest, if I'm honest with you, like music for me is quite a new thing. Only like 5 or 6 years. Before that, it's always just going out and seeing bands and stuff like that. And then I'll tell you the whole story if you want. Is what got me going was my wife. We used to go camping all the time. We were camping like most weekends and stuff, and always had like a guitar hanging about, but never really played it and stuff. And then my wife, about 6 years ago, she bought me a harmonica, just a little like so, and she bought me one of these and for my birthday, and I played it a few times, and I remember her saying, she thought I was going to play it a couple of times and then just sort of throw it in the bin type thing. And then I played it a few times, did the old Oh Susanna about 5,000 times. Did that, over and over until it drove everybody mad. And then I went on YouTube and just started listening to, loads of other stuff. I thought, harmonica stuff. And then obviously blues. It was the blues harmonica and stuff like that. And then I bought myself a little neck rack type thing, a bit like Steve Ruffe wears. And obviously the Bob Dylan type of stuff, and Neil Young, Heart of Gold, that sort of thing. Just started, trying to learn that and taking YouTube lessons off YouTube, and just from there, just kind of fell in love with the harmonica, and I've loved it ever since. I've probably driven everybody mad with it.
So you put a lot of stuff onto YouTube and on Facebook. What sort of results are you getting? Are you getting a lot of hits on YouTube and things like that? I mean, to be honest, the recent stuff I've been putting on, my wife's only recently shown me sort of how to put it on there, with the YouTube studio thing like that. So I was just kind of like just putting it on Facebook on a Saturday, doing the sort of Saturday thing. And again, it all started down at Rotherham Bridge, down near Puffin Billy, doing the kind of weekend. It sort of did one every weekend. I think it was for a while, and then we kind of came out of lockdown the first time, and then my friend Paul, who I was in a band with anyway, one of my best friends, Paul Bennett,
he said, do you want to meet up when it was safe? And we sort of started doing like a duo thing, which we eventually named the Hoodoos. So we were both going down under the arch near the Puffin Billy. It's quite funny really, because it's under the main, like I say, the big arch, but you have to clamber down and then like literally go under the arch, and there's like a 2-foot ledge you have to go up and to get in the middle of the arch to get the sort of the good acoustics and echoey stuff. And so we were like clambering along there, trying not to drop your guitar in or drop all your other bits. And also, like most of the videos from under there have literally just got my knee in, because it was the only place I could put the tripod with the camera on it to try and to try and video myself. So basically, you just see either my foot or my knee or something like that. So, but you don't actually see me, which is probably a good thing. But you can hear it, and it's nice. So yeah, so we met up.
We got somebody called Shell who's trying to get in, and might be a friend of yours, but unfortunately, until they activate their camera or their microphone, they won't be able to join in the conversation. Just sitting there saying, your device is not connected. So if you can hear us, then we'd like to hear from you. That would be absolutely brilliant. So underneath the arches of the river, playing music, because it's got that natural acoustic side of it. But you touched on bands. Now, tell us all about the history of which bands you played at, played in, played with, and what was the highlight of any of these shows that you've done?
Well, I think when we first started, so there was, I had this harmonica, and a C harmonica, which I just, like I say, played to death, and I started getting better, a little bit better and better. And then my mate Paul and his fiance Kevern Holmes, who's saxophone player and slide guitar and all that. She's very, very talented. They kind of just asked me if I fancy putting like a little band together, and we do like just some covers of Stones and all that sort of stuff. And so we did. We ended up meeting up and sort of going through a few songs and trying different things out. And at the same time, I was still learning. I mean, I was probably pretty bad at the time on the harmonica, and also I don't know if I was shy, but it's one of them. Sort of blowing all these sort of wrong notes and stuff like that. But at the same time learning, so I was enjoying the experience. It was good, and we kind of got better and better. And then we got a bass player, Chris Sutcliffe, and various drummers, and then eventually we sort of went out as a threesome for a little while, just playing up Yard Cafe up near Petrox Still, Peters Marland, and sort of broke the duck, if you like, playing live, which is quite nerve-wracking to start with because I've never done that sort of thing. So and at the same time, just we got quite a few gigs lined up. We played like an open air festival, Field of Dreams. I think that was my first proper gig, which was out in Peters Marland, which was really nice. And just new experiences. So and that's what I like really in life, is just some new stuff. So
did you ever go along to any of these open mic nights and jam sessions? Is that the sort of thing that you frequent?
I mean, the main one, I've been to a few, but I mean my favorite one, and the one because I got sort of absorbed into the blues really, was Jim Crawford's blues night down at the Champ in Appledore. It was fantastic. You loved it, and I remember just going down there, and Paul and Karen would go, and you just meet all these new people. It was always on a Wednesday night as well, so it's like a school night. So you go down and just go down and listen to start with, but great musicians. Everybody's like really good, and but I started off, I just go around with like one little harmonica in my pocket, and they, I'd like get about an hour in and be like, Ian, do you want to do one? And I'll be like, no, I didn't bring a harmonica, so I'd sort of jib out, and then I'd get home in the evening and think, I should have why didn't I just have a go, and then eventually I did have a go, and and then got more confident. So, but love the Wednesday blues, and that's pretty much. I mean, I've been to a few of the other ones; they're all good. The Beaver, run by Baz Bix. You got Mick Pledge, They're always down there. Always a good, always a good afternoon down there. Loads of people. Just, I don't know. It's just lovely. All these musicians getting together, just playing different stuff and having a good time, having a beer.
Yeah.
Just
let's just quickly. I saw somebody there, and as you can see, Pevs, and now they switched it all off. Is this somebody you know?
Yeah, they're a bit of a rough couple. They live out in the sticks, so you don't really see that much of them. But yeah, they're a lovely couple. But
all they're going to do is put their mic on and put the camera on. They can hear us, but that would be quite nice. They want to join in our conversation. Hello.
Oh, that's it. That's Emma.
Hello. We're his number one fan.
They invited us. My wife and I to Tanya. We went on Emma and Neil's honeymoon to the Maldives. So hi, Emma.
Hi, Ian.
All right.
He's a lovely window cleaner as well.
I'm a vision technician, actually.
Sorry, yeah.
So, yeah.
So how do you know each other? That's the question.
Yeah, go on.
Through my husband. My husband and Ian are best friends.
Up to this point.
Up to this point, yeah, he's refusing to take part in this because he said I'm lying.
After this broadcast, it might not be. You never know, do you?
Get him on, Emma. Put Neil on.
Neil, Ian wants you. Yeah, you're on the show. Come here.
I'll just
while he's on
Hold on, I'll get the proper pair.
Okay, while he's on his way.
Oh, there he is.
This is your best mate, is it?
Hello.
You're pretty rough, like I said.
You what?
I'm just saying how rough you look.
Thanks. I've only just got up. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad. What's going on?
Well, this is Martin. Have you met Martin?
Hi, Martin.
Yeah, at the moment you're broadcasting to quite a few people, actually.
Oh, right. Okay.
Probably about 3,500 people watching what you're talking about and what you're talking to and about and everything else. Somebody called Paul is trying to connect as well. If you don't put your camera and your microphone on, you won't be able to join the chat. So, Paul, you can hear us. We can't see or hear you. Now, Ian, is this the person who you met underneath the bridge to play music with, or is this a different friend?
This is Neil, and I was sort of like his best man at his wedding. So, and he had a bit of a garden party when they got married. They had a bit of a garden party, and I've been playing for a little while at that point. A little bit of guitar, a little bit of harmonica, and I bought a suitcase, and I got myself a little bass pedal drum, and I suppose maybe this was like one of my first sort of garden gigs, if you like. And
I was going to say, it's one of your first live gigs, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so I played there. So played in their garden and sang a few songs badly. Wrote them a little wedding song, which was quite rude. But yeah, so it was good fun, to say the least.
It's nice when inspiration comes. Here we go. Hi, guys. Enjoying the show. Matt Johnson from the 80s and 90s band. Had a good harmonic solo riff on the song called The Beaten Generation on Mind Bomb album. Cheers, Simon TB. Maybe you could explain what that's all about, Ian.
Well, I haven't got a clue. I don't know that song at all. I'm always up for looking for different songs with bits of harmonica and stuff in, as well as the blues and stuff. And it's quite surprising. It's like one of them. Once I've been playing the harmonica for quite a while, sort of driving along and, I don't know, you'd hear like Stevie Wonder or something where I'd never really taken any notice of the harmonica. And then all of a sudden you think, hey, a bit like this. I did the specials one a couple of weeks ago, a message to you, Rudy, and, it's got a bit of harmonica in, but, never really took much notice of it. And then all of a sudden you hear these different songs, you think, oh, wow, didn't even realize there was harmonica in it and stuff like that. So, yeah. But apart from that song, no, I'll look that up.
Yeah, you've got to wind the time back. You think of how many songs have got harmonicas in it. Things
Yeah.
with Stevie Wonder. A lot of good songs from Stevie Wonder
Yeah.
that have that emphasis onto the harmonica. I noticed in your background you've got guitars as well. So I presume it's not just the harmonica that you play.
No, I've got. I mean, I'm what I call. I'm not brilliant at guitar. I mean, Paul, the guy I play with, he does all the twiddly twangy stuff, as I call it. You know, he's really good at all that sort of stuff. And I'm just basically like the rhythm guy. You know, just the chords and that sort of thing. But yeah, I've got an acoustic. I've got an electric acoustic, and I've got a little ukulele that I play. You know, I've got a couple of songs I can play at the moment, like Minnie the Moocher. Can't I Help Falling in Love with You, like an Elvis Presley. Yeah, it's quite good fun actually, the ukulele. So I quite often sing to the grandchildren if I can, some ukulele song, or just make one up. I'm quite good.
Yeah, we've got a couple of more people sitting on the side who, unless they put their mics and cameras on, we're not going to be able to speak. There's Paul Posty, and Rigid Six. Whoever they are, they might be friends of yours. I don't know.
I don't. You never know, do you? No, I don't recognise them names, but you know, hopefully they'll have a good question for you. Maybe.
Let's go back to the roots of your music. Let's ask this question: who are your heroes that you would like to meet? Who are those people who have been influencing you to play what you play or what you'd like to play?
That's what I like to play. Well, but like, I mean, my blues stuff, you know, the harmonica stuff. I mean, it's Sonny Boy Williamson, number 2, Rice Miller, Little Walter, always gets a mention on stuff, and more sort of modern day is like Paul Lamb, Kim Wilson, and I've got one guy who comes from London, guy called Steve Weston. I love his stuff. I love his playing. You know, it's just he's who when I'm trying to, you know, take a segment of music and trying to learn a few licks with the harmonica, you know, over and over and over. It's his. I love his sound. You know, his different ways of playing as well. Another guy. I mean, he doesn't live around here anymore, but Giles Robson. I was watching him last night. He's like a legend. Proper high end, fast playing. You know, unbelievable. Probably take me another 20 years before I get anywhere near that good. Kind of want to throw my harmonicas away when I listen to these guys. But yeah, yeah, Walter and that, you know, from sort of the 1950s and stuff. Love, you know, you think it's what 70 years ago or more. You used to think some of these players were like amazing then, and yeah, I love them now. And there's so much blues music, you know, because it wasn't something. You know, it's quite a recent thing I've been listening to. Again, it was like one of them, you know, you could sort of hear Hoochie Coochie Man, sort of Muddy Waters, you know, years ago. And you like it, but you don't really, you know, I never really sort of went out and bought an album or anything, but you just sort of hear it there, here and there. And then, but now, I mean, there's so much blues music. Sometimes I'll just download an album and I'll put it on when I'm out cleaning windows and just, you know, just hear these new songs and every now and then one will sort of pop out. You think, oh, I must learn this song. This is amazing, you know. And then I'll make it kind of my mission to try and break it down and try and play it as best I can. So,
What's the fundamental difference between a mouth organ and a harmonica?
I think they're pretty much the same thing, really. I mean, you get loads of different harmonicas. You get sort of bass harmonicas, get chromatic harmonicas, you know, which is the sort of push button type of thing, and then you get these, you know, just the ones I like playing, which the basically mainly are the sort of diatonic 10-hole, and you know, these come in. I mean, I bought like one in the key of C when I first started, and then you kind of realise you end up, you know, buying a rack full of them, and then needing more and more and more for all the whatever music or key of music the band are playing in. So you kind of think you've got a C harmonica, and then you start playing with the band, and you think, oh my God, what are they doing? And then
you realise there's just all these different keys, and you know, learning to play in whatever key. So yeah, there's a lot to take in, you know, and I'm nowhere near sort of mastering it at all. Just having fun.
How much practice do you have to put in? Because I presume it's not only blowing, it's sucking as well, isn't it?
Yeah. There's there's a lot really. I mean, there's so many different tunes. You know, I mean, you got something like I don't know if you'd be able to. You've got like really low harmonicas, and you can do like nice little sort of like sort of chuggy sort of train type stuff and that. Lovely, yeah, really nice, and especially nice on a sort of on an open mic through a decent microphone and a PA. It's beautiful. But yeah, loads of different sort of harmonicas, you know, shapes and sizes.
If I actually said to you, pick up your favourite harmonica, mouth organ, and give me about 2 minutes of whatever you want to do, that would work.
It would work a treat, yeah. If I could find the right harmonica. Bear with me.
Okay. Okay, we've just joined us. A very good evening. It's Music Monday here on Devon Live Chat, and we've got people trying to come in on the stream, and let's just add somebody here. Kerry. Hello, Kerry.
Hello.
Hey. Hello, Kerry.
Hello, Ian.
You all right, sweetheart?
Yeah, you?
I am lovely. You know that.
Of course you are.
You can put your camera on as well, and we can see what you look like, Kerry. But
No, it's all right. No, thanks.
you want to stay anonymous as far as your good looks is concerned.
Yeah.
I think I know why it is, Martin, to be honest, is because Kerry and her fella, they've got a little sort of garden pub, and I think she's probably in there. They've got like a shed they've kind of done up with optics and stuff. So they spend a bit of time in there. Is that right, Kerry?
No, we haven't been in there since Christmas. It's too cold.
Oh, that's fair.
I've just got home from work, so I'm looking a bit rough.
Get on, you never look rough.
So is everybody looking forward to when this lockdown eases and we can all go back and start performing in pubs and clubs and places like that? Getting back to what possibly might be as close to near normal as possible.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I think everybody's just missed, mainly, the music and stuff. I mean, I see a few people on Facebook are putting stuff out now, like the Palladium, doing all their stuff for music. Yeah, they've done really well last year, especially out in, the Big Sheep with the sort of bubbles, the sort of bubbles and people coming around and serving you and, still being able to watch bands and stuff, it's lovely. And then, you got the live stream stuff, which has been a godsend really with, James Spencer and all the other guys, just putting stuff on for people to watch. It's just, I don't know, it's nice. You can sit at home and just something. Or Small Town Jones last night as well, which has been nice. I think he's finished now, but that's been nice. And then I think it's Ben Nye has been putting loads of stuff on. Just nice just to hear some live music and see people and support them. So it's been good.
A lot of new music has been coming out during the lockdowns because a lot of people have had no other way of expressing themselves apart from recording, sitting down, making new music, like yourself, putting things onto Facebook and YouTube to try and keep going. But it doesn't actually give that same feeling as being on a stage in front of an audience to look at the reaction, the face, the movement, the dancing or whatever. You just don't get that unless you're in that live situation.
No, it's completely changed in that way. I mean, I think it might take a long while for, people to get back to, feeling safe in that sort of situation, going in a pub and I don't know. I said to somebody the other day, it's like years ago, like when we walked around Torrington Square, you'd always, on a Saturday night, you sort of walk around and look in the Black Horse window or the Globe window. And, if there wasn't many people in there, you could say, let's find somewhere that's a bit busier. But I think now people would be like looking through and going, "Oh, it's nice and quiet in there. Let's go in there for a minute." Yeah, before you go in a crowded ward that gets crowded or something. So but yeah, I mean, music, just brings people out and stuff. Like going in the channel. Actually, we were in a band. Paul, Karen, and I, and a couple of others. We were in a band called the Sugar Canes. Literally about 2 weeks before the first lockdown in March, we had a gig in the Champ, and it was all just starting to feel a little bit eerie then. Like, should we be out, should we not? But it hadn't quite kicked in at that point. And we played in there, and I mean, it was packed, but it was a fantastic gig. It was like really, really nice. And then 2 weeks after that, it's like everything was just like dead quiet, shut down. But that gig, was brilliant. Even though, looking back now, I don't know if I'd have done it now, like looking back, but with what came after that, a few after. So I think it had kicked off in Italy then, with the virus, and it was sort of being talked about shutting down. So, but like I said, it sort of did it anyway, and it was a good gig. It was like everybody's coming out for their last pint, before, which it was really, and it was good.
Anyway, let's move on to this couple of minutes or so of you doing whatever. And what are you going to give us? What song?
I'm going to give you a song by Duke Ellington, or a guy called Big Walter Horton played it, and it's quite apt for now. It's called "Don't Get Around Much Anymore," which is true, really.
Down to you.
Are you ready?
Whoa, what have we got here? Hang on a minute. Sounding awesome, Ian. Just finished eating cowboy chili, and that was a perfect soundtrack. Keep smiling. Della. Della Dunkley. Yay. Della's a good friend, actually. And she's absolutely superb at doing what she's doing. And you're very, very superb at doing what you're doing, because that was excellent.
Thank you very much.
You don't really need a backing band, do you? If you've got that sort of talent. I suppose it's always nice to be on stage with a group of other people, but I suppose if you were on your own and you got a drum machine and things like that, you're pretty well set up for. But then you could just walk in with the harmonica. That's not really much of a PA to carry around, is it?
I mean, it's nice, really, isn't it? I mean, when we used to go to Jim's, blues night on the Wednesday down at the Champ, there's always like a little slot in the middle there. Yeah, when I eventually got more confident, I would say, can I go up and do, just do a couple on my own, which was always, like just a bit of a break from the guitars and stuff. And an old one called Bye Bye Bird, which is on one of the low harmonicas, one of these real sort of nice low, and it was lovely, like it sort of make everybody go quiet. I enjoyed doing that, and do a couple in the break. Do the one I've just done, that sort of thing, and try and maybe get one for every week, something a bit different if I've got a chance to get up and do it. And then apart from that, the other times, there'd be like me and a couple of others. A guy called Jerry, who's really good on the harmonica. He's one of the first ones I kind of met down the Champ, and he's been playing harmonica for about 30 years. And I was sort of just looking up to him, enjoying, thinking, I want to be like that, I want to be like that, that sort of thing. And still trying. I'm still at it as best I can. But yeah, like you say, easy to carry around. I can take it when I take the dogs out for a walk. Quite often I'll have one in my pocket and find somewhere in the woods, and just try and scare the birds, I suppose. Scare them off.
I just had this really, really like weird thought. I don't know if it's ever happened. Have you ever thought about doing like dueling harmonicas, with another player, a little bit like dueling banjos, but like not with the banjo and the guitar? Could you imagine like two of you just facing off and going for it? Have you ever thought about doing anything like that, or have you ever done anything like that?
I've not done anything like that, but I mean, I've seen other harmonicas when there's been two or three. I mean, a few of the guys, like George Robson and that, sometimes at the end of their show, they'll get a couple of people up, and play with his band, and they'll sort of take it in turns on a 12 bar. Somebody will have a go, and then somebody. It's a bit like at the Champ with the guitarist. Somebody will like do a round of 12 bar, and then somebody else will come in and do their solo, and then there'll be a saxophone player. The saxophone player would have a go. Sam on the piano, and Bernie on the guitar. Everybody sort of, sometimes, a song will go on for 7 or 8 minutes. It'd be fantastic, just keep going around, and then eventually it'll come back to Jim or whoever to sort of finish off. But yeah, with the harmonicas, sometimes there'll be a couple of harmonicas, but you sort of...
Sounds like a good idea. It was also Ian. I actually knew the song too, Low. Though nobody's actually bothered to put their names on, but that would have been quite nice. But thank you very much indeed. If you could sit down round a table, and pick 3 guests, alive or dead, who would it be, and what would you like to talk about?
Well, right. Well, I'd like to pick.
If not 3, maybe 1 or 2. Maybe 3 might be a bit too much to start off with. But could you imagine having that moment of anybody in the history of the past? Who would you like to have sitting around your table, and what sort of question would you like to put to them?
What sort of question? Well, I'll definitely pick one of my old harmonica favourites. So it'd probably be, I don't know, probably Sonny Boy Williamson #2. And what question? I don't know what I'd ask, really. Obviously, I'd probably just ask harmonica questions. You're like, how do you do that bit or this bit, and I'll probably have loads of questions on the harmonica. But that, and then I'd probably ask old Marty up with Sid Vicious, actually. I wouldn't mind just sitting around a table and having a beer with him. I don't know, just talk about the Sex Pistols or something. Just life in general. But I reckon he'd be good fun. So yeah, Sid Vicious as a random one.
That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Carrie, you can talk again because I've unmuted your microphone. You just muted it though, but never mind. Maybe you don't want to talk. How difficult is it to maintain the harmonica? Does it take an awful lot of maintenance? Do you have to clean it out? What do you do with it?
Yeah, I mean they need cleaning out. I mean, I'm personally, I don't. It's very rare I'll take mine. You can take them apart. Some you can't take apart. When they're sort of knackered, they're knackered. But other ones you can take apart. I normally get some like Milton fluid and some sort of fairly warm water, and I'll soak them in there for sort of 20 minutes or so. Depends if they're wooden combs or not. You get plastic combs and stuff, so some you got to be a bit careful with. Bamboo combs, and then give them a bit of a shake. And then, to be honest, sometimes you see what's floating around in that water, and you think, "Oh my god, should have done this months ago, or weeks ago, shall I say?" So yeah, and I'll just clean them out that way, and then dry them out. But and quite often I'll just end up buying a new one if it's like well out of tune and stuff. Although I did buy like a little grinder and stuff to try and start tuning my own, to get them back in the tune, because when they got little reeds in them, and when you're trying to sort of like bend the note down to get the different keys and stuff, eventually if it's a brass one, it'll end up snapping, it'll just go out, and then eventually you put it back in tune and it'll go straight out again. So they kind of wear a bit like bending something. After a while, eventually they give, and then you just hear it rattling around, and then you've kind of lost that harmonica. So and that's when it
Well, that was the question: is what's the life expectancy of a standard harmonica? I know it really does depend on how often it gets used, but in your life, the way that you do things, what is the expected life before you've got to say, do you know what, I need to get another one?
Yeah, well, I've got a couple. I've got a C harmonica here, which is probably the one that Tanya bought me, my wife, about 6 years ago, and that's still all right. It's still pretty good. But I've had other ones. I've had them, I don't know, a month, maybe less than that, and they're kind of. And then sometimes you can buy them that they're kind of out of tune anyway, which is a good reason to sort of kind of learn how to do a little bit of tuning. Again, YouTube's good for that. But then I've had other ones with flashy combs and stuff like that, and they haven't lasted very long. And I've sort of paid like £100 or more for like a tailor-made one, and it's kind of gone out of tune very quickly, and you thought, oh. So so I don't know, the life expectancy, I mean, some I use more than others. Like an A harmonica, for instance, one in the key of A is kind of probably my most used harmonicas, so I go through them quite a lot. So I'd say every, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. Sometimes they last longer. I don't know. It just depends on the, if it's on a bit of a bad journey, or dropped it a few times, or don't know, it's just got too much gunk in it. Don't let me put your.
So there you are on stage. You pick up your harmonica, you start playing, and that there's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
So how many spares do you carry, and what goes through your mind when you start to play and you go, hang on a minute, this isn't right? How quickly can you sort of know in your own head that this isn't right? There's something gone wrong with inside.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's a telltale thing with the harmonica. It's like, if I play guitar and I've got the sort of neck rack on, doing like, I don't know, like say a Bob Dylan one or something like that. Not that I do any Bob Dylan, I do one, but like Neil Young, Heart of Gold or something. If the harmonica's out of key, but you've tuned your guitar up, that's when you need, like, sometimes if you get your guitar and you put a capo on, you can just sort of maybe get away with playing it without retuning it a little bit. But when you're playing with a harmonica, that's in tune, you need to tune that guitar really, otherwise it's got that sort of it's like that slightly out of tune, is that right, sort of thing. So yeah, and that's when you need your guitar tuning sort of properly with the harmonica. So you have to take that a little bit of extra time just to make sure it's right, otherwise it sounds a bit naff in your ears. So yeah.
So what's the future then for you, Ian? Where do you think you're going to be musically in a year from now?
I think, I mean, I've enjoyed, I mean, obviously I've had no choice but to sort of, you know, do my own thing. But I think me and Paul are going to meet up again. We kind of met when we did the Hoodoos thing, and we got offered a sort of possibly 2 or 3 weddings to do this year, you know, if it's safe enough for that sort of thing. So I mean, yeah, that's on the sort of back burner just to see how things sort of, you know, when we come out of lockdown gradually, see how that goes. So yeah, we'll meet up, and then you've probably seen the videos of me and Kaj. Kaj is somebody I've known for a good few years, and I was cleaning his windows a while ago, and we sort of got yapping, and he just said about, you know, if you want to sort of anybody to drum on the on any of your tunes, give us a shout. And I said, oh yeah, that's right. I've got like a little bit of recording. I bought myself a little audio face thing, and I can record myself. And so I said, if we can send it to each other, I'll record mine, send it to you, you record you, we'll knit them together. My wife normally knits the videos together, and see where I get on. So yeah, I did that the other week. I said, I saw him again. He mentioned it, and I said, well, I'll send one, which I think was the Bronski beat one. And he had to go on that, and it sounded all right. Actually, it was good fun. So and I've got a little green screen that I use, so my wife can sort of overlay in Movie Maker, I think it is, and sort of knit me, next to him or whatever, and that's how we've managed to do it. So yeah. So
green screen. Who would want a green screen? Like, I've got music behind me. Oh no, I've got Scam now behind me. I do like green screens. They're so useful for adding something. As we come into a close, what came first, your music or window cleaning?
Wow. Like I said, I've always had a guitar hanging around, but I've never really been that good at it. So I'd say window cleaning came first, and then from that, since my wife bought me the harmonica, and then the guys I said about going in a band together, and it kind of just all stemmed from there really. Because I mean, before that, I had no. I always say to some of my customers, I'll say to them, like, if you'd have said to me 6 years ago, oh, you'll be in a band and you'll be playing harmonica and you'll be singing, and I'd just gone, what? I don't think so. You got the wrong person there. But and then down the line, here we are. I'm just doing bits and bobs and enjoying myself and putting a tune out on a Saturday. And I said to Kaj the other day, if I've made 1 or 2 people smile today, then I kind of feel like my job's done for the day. Cheered a few people up in there, because a lot of people are a bit more fed up in this sort of second or third lockdown, whatever it is. So yeah.
Am I thinking right that the window cleaning's been going on for quite a few years, and you've probably got quite a large round of happy customers?
Yeah, I've got a really good round, and I've got all my customers. Yeah, I mean, they're all lovely. I'm going to say that, of course I am. But a few of my older customers, who haven't seen anybody, they don't see anybody, especially like now. I mean, they're so pleased to see me. We end up yapping for ages, and I'm happy to just sit around and yap, and for a while, not too much, obviously, in case the wife's listening. But yeah, and that sort of thing. Talk about music. Some of them are on Facebook, and they've seen the videos and that, and I get quite good feedback from that, which is is always a nice thing when they've said, oh, that song was brilliant, blah blah blah. Which I know they're bound to say. They're not going to.
Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to finish off with you saying something like, how would somebody get in touch if they want to know about your musical talents, or sell yourself for new customers for your window cleaning? How do they get in touch with you? You have the forum. You can do this, Ian. It's down to you, mate.
I'll do a little jingle. Get your windows cleaned here. No, you can just Facebook me. If you want me to come and play, or us to play it in your beer garden, in your garden for a barbecue in the summer, if it's safe, then give me a shout. Facebook, Ian Kevern, Sir Ian Kevern, and that's it.
Fantastic. And what about the windows?
And can I just say as well, I like the write up you put on Facebook. You called me, which isn't unusual by the way. It said,
tonight, Kevern. And I thought, I like that actually, because I haven't actually got a name. Yeah, we've got the hoodoos and but for going out and doing I want to do a bit of busking in that when we come out of lockdown, and do a bit of busking and perhaps some little garden parties if people are having them. But I haven't actually got a name, and I was thinking, oh, Kevern. So yeah, I need to think of a name. So if anybody can think of a name, that'd be good. Just for
I'm trying to think that we could get Kerry in to have some final thoughts about what we've been talking about, but the microphone is still muted. They're there, but they're not there.
He's probably just fumbling around, drunk.
Probably. I'll just take him out again. Ian, it's been an absolute pleasure. You are a gentleman. I love your playing as well.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll get to talk again and maybe bring some of the other people in who you've done collaborations with, because there's a few, isn't there, on Facebook that you've done things with. It's not just one person, is it?
No, there's Paul, there's Kaj, and then there's other people like to do a collaboration with at some point, maybe, just even if it's just like a one-off or something, it'd be good fun. I think the lockdown, it just made me think, just want to get out and play, whether it's busking down on the Tarka Trail or, not for money, just to play in a beer garden. Paul and I played in the Puffin Billy beer garden and stuff last year. On a nice day, it was lovely. A few people turned up and as passers by. My granddaughter come and played harmonica briefly, little Orla. So yeah, that was lovely.
Bit of busking down at Westwood Ho or somewhere like that.
Yeah, I played Westwood Ho. Actually, I joined these two other guys about 2 years ago, and we went and played on the village green. We went out sort of just did a little bit for a while called the Three Busketeers, and that was with a guy called Sid, who normally plays in Bideford High Street. He plays a big double bass. He's busks. That's all he does is busk, I think. So and I kind of ended up meeting up with them and did a few songs, and yeah, that was good fun actually.
Yeah, I think Kevin Bino does the same sort of thing as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does. There's a few go down actually. Roger Cologne, he's down at last year. When he sort of come out of lockdown a little bit, he was going down Westwood Ho and playing on the green, and yeah, good. Just enjoying themselves and making other people happy, and giving them something to listen to live. Yeah, good fun. And
okay.
It's all been really good. Like I say, all the online stuff, the Facebook stuff, the live, the Palladium stuff. It's all good.
Thank you very much indeed. Stay there in a moment, and we'll have another little chat. Thanks indeed to everybody for taking part in today. This has been Devon Live Chat, and it's a Music Monday.